Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 19 of Theatre Chat Live. How are you all doing? Talk to me. I hope you enjoyed last week's live with Kaylee, who spoke to Lucy Jones and Rhiannon Porter about Les Mis and Abomania and lots of other things about theatre opening up. If you haven't seen it, you can watch it on our IGTV channels. How have you all been? Speak to me. Who has been to see a show? The Theatreland has been open for just over a week. I've had a really busy week. I feel like I'm looking a bit tired today. It's been a hectic but super exciting week. I was lucky enough to go see 3 shows last week. I went to go see Mousetrap with Millie, which we did a vlog on, which you can watch on YouTube. I also went to go and see Amelie, which I thought was amazing. It was the only show that I went to last week that was one I'd not seen before. And that made it really interesting and really exciting, and kind of gave it that feeling of like, oh my gosh, this is it, this is real theatre. You know, queuing up and not knowing what to expect from your evening, I guess. And then what else I see? Oh, and I saw Six, of course, on Friday. So yeah, it's been a really lovely, wonderful week being back at work, doing kind of my job properly. The reason why I'm talking and going on about it, not just to make you feel jealous, but because after our interview today, I'm going to be doing a little Q&A about my experience being back in those theatres. So if you have any questions about what it's been like going back into theatre, if I've been feeling safe, how have the toilets been? I don't know why I always go to that. How do you order your drinks? Let me know, and yeah, we'll have a little chat, and I'll have a little chat to you about how I found it all. One of the shows that I didn't go to that opened last week was Magic Mike, but luckily we have Manny from Magic Mike who is here, and he's going to chat to us a little bit about it. So let's see if we can get Manny on the live. Hello, Manny, how are you?
Hi. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. How has your day been?
Good, actually. It's actually our day off today, so I've actually kind of been relaxing, just doing regular things.
Yeah, nice. How has that been? Because obviously during like lockdown, you probably had quite a few days off, and then suddenly you've been working and then you're back to doing nothing again.
Yeah, I've actually kind of appreciated the days off. We've kind of been back in rehearsals and obviously we opened last week, so it's kind of been a bit chaotic with getting the show up and running and like seeing how everything's going. But it's been good and I'm really appreciating the days off now, so.
Yeah, awesome. So to start off the interview, obviously we're on Instagram. I like to do a little thing where I look back at your Instagram posts, and you've only got, I think it's like 14, but I did find
Yeah.
something that was interesting. It's this photo of you with Rita Ora.
Oh yeah,
Can you
yeah,
tell
yeah.
me a little bit more about that?
Um, I that was a long time ago actually. That was a very long time ago. I was kind of doing like a promo tour with her around that time. I think I was must have been about 21, and we kind of went to like different countries, performed at different venues around the UK and around the world. It was good fun. It was good fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that sounds sick. Obviously, you are a dancer, and I guess you get to travel a lot with
Yes.
that. Where did your journey start, and how did it get to where you are right now in Magic Mike?
Um, it started a long time ago actually. I kind of danced most of my life. But I kind of took it a little bit more seriously when I was about 15, 16. I made my way I got a scholarship at college to train full time. And then from there, I just kind of gave it all 100%. Tried to understand as much as I could about the industry, looked at other people that were already doing work that I wanted to be doing, figured out how they did it, how they got to where they got to, and just pursued it as much as I can. And you know, one job led to another job, meeting new people, discovering new opportunities, and then kind of just went from there.
Awesome. And obviously now here you are Mike in Magic Mike Live at the Hippodrome. How can you kind of remember that first moment that you started in the show, and how did that feel?
Uh, First of all, the show is like no other job I've ever done. It's
Hmm.
definitely one of the most unique jobs I've ever done. So you can't compare it to any other jobs. But it's surreal, you know. It's one of those shows where we get so into. I mean, obviously because of COVID, at the minute we don't. But um, in terms of like when it's normal, we get to like get so close to the audience. They get to get like a full experience of the show. We get to touch them, bring them up on stage. It's kind of like an immersive experience. So it was new, like kind of delving into that kind of side of things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. And how was your first night back? Was it on Friday?
Yeah, we opened on Friday. Yeah, it was good. It was good. We did two shows. The audience loved it. Obviously, there's changes to the show now, but hopefully that's only temporary. And it was good though. It was good. It was good to be back on stage. It was good to be with all the guys. I think the audience enjoyed it as well, and I think it was nice to have that kind of theater experience again for us and for the audience.
Yeah, definitely. And tell me a little bit more about kind of how you've made the show socially distanced, because obviously beforehand it wasn't very socially distanced at all.
No, it wasn't. But so our choreographers came and we redid the show. Not completely. There are most of the shows the same. In terms of bringing audience members up, we don't do that anymore, unfortunately, just for the time being. Um, like it's just sort of like the way that we kind of maneuver things and the way that we face around the stage. Like obviously the audience are in masks, so that's kind of keeping everyone safe. And but like we kind of do more dancing on the stage as opposed to going into the audience and giving you that sort of interaction there.
Yeah, definitely awesome. And obviously you're kind of there for the dancing, so I can't
Yeah.
imagine it kind of takes anything away from what the show is, I guess.
No, I think you get the same experience. Obviously, it's just a little bit different, just for now.
Yeah. Awesome. And how has it been being back with your cast and rehearsals and all of that?
Amazing, amazing. I actually work with like the best group of guys. We have the best company, to be honest, from stage management to wardrobe to the cast to everyone. Like it's like one big family, you know. And it's been nice. It's been nice to have the year off, but also nice to be back. And I think everyone's starting with a fresh energy, ready to go again.
Yeah, definitely. And what have you been doing in your year off? How have you kind of been keeping active, or have you just not and just thought, you know what, I'm just gonna just do nothing and see what happens?
Um, Kind of a bit of both, really. I was working on some personal projects. I kind of took some time out. I didn't want to. I kind of wanted to appreciate the time off. I kind of wanted to just do normal things that I might not have had the time to do before, or like see family and like just kind of chill, reset my body, and then yeah. So ups and downs, kind of the same as everyone else, I guess. Just trying to keep sane and just get through it and stay safe and all that.
Awesome. One of my favorite questions to ask, and I'm not asking this just because it's Magic Mike, but have you had like any on-stage mishaps that kind of you look back at and just can't help but smile at?
I think there's too many to list. Yeah, loads. As in, like, from our point of view, or just in general in the show, or
I think in general from the show, it kind of keep it clean, obviously, but anything that you kind of as I think what it is that theatre experience and how theatre is obviously so different to films that anything can happen really.
well, we've had like people jump on the stage. I think because our show is kind of it really like lets people feel free. It kind of you come and you experience something more than just sitting there watching it. Do you know what I mean? You really
Mm-hmm.
like feel a part of the show. So obviously, with a little bit of alcohol, some people might get a bit carried away. We've had people jump on the stage, just want to hug us, just kind of like want to feel like even more involved in the show. But obviously, we just keep it professional and we just usher them off stage. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably the cleanest I can keep it.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I guess it's quite nice though, because you never really know what you're going to expect from an evening, and each night is probably different.
Exactly, exactly. But we're quite used to like the spontaneity of it and knowing that like anything can happen at any point. So we're always kind of like aware.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the story of the show. So obviously Channing Tatum was a director on the show, and I guess you guys are like best pals now,
Yeah,
constantly
I
messaging
guess
each
so.
other
Yeah.
on Zoom calls and all that. That's what I imagine in my head. Um, how is the show kind of similar to the film, or is there any kind of differences? And what's the kind of storyline?
So the story in our show, it's very loosely based. Like it's a very like kind of subtle storyline to it. But the storyline is Mike starts off as a waiter. Somehow through this magical power that the MC has, she discovers that she can have anything she wants, and so can the audience. So Mike gets on stage, he's a waiter, and he's not sure why he's on stage, how he got there. And the MC kind of takes him through this journey on finding out what women want and how to like be a man, if that makes sense. So
Hmm.
with that, the other guys kind of teach me lessons and different kind of dance styles. And I slowly start to pick things up with them. And then towards the end of the show, Mike goes from a guy who's kind of a bit clueless to a guy who already knows what's going on and is now Magic Mike.
Yeah, definitely. So I saw the show just, it was actually just before COVID and lockdown happened. And I was actually really surprised by how kind of empowering it was.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously you look at that show and you think, oh, it's just like a strip tease. It's just all about kind of the female gaze and all that. But how do you think the show is empowering? And maybe not just for you guys, but also for the audience?
Um, the show is actually super empowering. You're right. I think it takes you to a place, especially as a female, it takes you to a place where maybe you might not get to experience as much day-to-day life, or even in a theater environment, And we kind of bring everything that you could possibly want in the show, or at that time in your life, or at that time now, and we go, here it all is, and it's all for you. And respectfully, obviously respect works both ways, but we kind of allow you to be as free as you want and enjoy it as much as you want, do you know?
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. And what was my last question? I was going to ask you. Oh yeah, you have been in the show for is it a few years now? Am I right?
Yeah, since
And you
since it
guys,
started.
yeah, since it started, has there been any kind of standout moments for you career-wise? You did Magic Mike, not Magic Mike. You did West End Live a few years ago, and lots of copious like TV shows and stuff like that. Has there been anything that has really kind of stuck out to you?
Um, I think there's been so many moments that it's hard to pick out one moment. I think every week and every day the job brings something new. Even from like just from speaking to audience members who have watched the show and getting their feedback. Like we've had like just like the most emotional stories have been told to us, and and we feel like we're really giving back by doing the show, if that makes sense. Like we feel like people have come to watch, they feel a type of way when they leave, a positive way, and we feel like we've done our job well, do you know? Um,
Hmm.
in terms of performances and stuff, probably like I don't know. I can't pinpoint one. Maybe like when we did Red Nose Day as well. That was good fun.
Yeah.
There was like a whole group of us that did it. Um, there's loads of stuff. There's been loads of stuff, and I'm sure there'll be loads to come as well. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and having a little chat. Can you tell me kind of last few minutes or so about the show, how you can get tickets, and where they can come and see Magic My Life?
yes, so Magic Mike is at the Hippodrome in the casino in Leicester Square. We play from Wednesday to Sundays. And I think you can get tickets at Ticketmaster or via the website, and we'll hope to see you there.
Awesome. Yeah, and you can also get tickets from OLT Official and Theatre as well, I have to mention.
Yes, you can. Yes, you
Um,
can.
but yeah, great. And you also have to be over 18 to see the show, obviously, because it's in a
Yes.
casino and of the themes. But yeah, thank you so much for coming to chat, and all the best on reopening. And hopefully you'll be open again, kind of non-socially distance and back to normal soon.
Exactly. Thank you so much for having me, and hopefully we'll see you guys there soon.
See you later.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Awesome. So yes, you can get your tickets from OLT. You can just go into our bio and click on the link just there. Let's see what Hayley said. Honestly, I would have judged had I had not taken the time to research and watch vlogs on YouTube. The show seems so incredibly empowering and I adore it. It really does. It's definitely something, I think it's a nice kind of surprise because obviously after, the whole kind of Me Too world, you go into this situation thinking, oh, this is going to be a bit of a fun night out with friends. And actually you get a story and you get talent live on stage. These people are, trained dancers and just really great at doing what they do. What else have you been saying? We've got a very interesting topic / discussion. The guys are talented. Yes. Crossing my fingers I can come see Magic Mike one day. Astrid said the audience definitely enjoyed it. I shed a tear. Yeah, it's an awesome show and it's definitely one to go to with your friends. Kind of make a bit of a night out for it. I think they kind of offer some bottomless Prosecco, I think, at the casino beforehand. Obviously drink responsibly. And yeah, you can make an evening of it. And I think it's something that maybe, some of us could really do with right now after the kind of year that we've had, that kind of escapism of going out there and just watching something and just letting your hair down a little bit and just being a little bit bonkers. I highly recommend. Yes, Kaylee says that as well. Cool. So let's have a little chat about being back on stage and my experience. So Rasheen has written, how was Six on Friday? Well, obviously Six was amazing. It was such a good feeling to be back in that theatre again, and especially on that opening performance. We recorded the Mega Six right at the end. Obviously, you can get your phones out, but we went live, and it was so nice seeing all of your comments, everyone just being really grateful that we were there recording it and just kind of making them feel like they were a part of the show. Six is always going to be awesome, I think, to me. And one thing that I really like about it is obviously the show's great and the singing's great, but I think the whole kind of production is amazing. And I remember I was just sitting there and you see all of their outfits that just sparkle in the lights. And also the people around you, like everyone was having such a great time. I think that's really what I've taken out of this whole last week is how much enjoyment people have had from these opening shows. After that very first song in Amelie, everyone started clapping and I started crying because it's just that thing of, I'm a little bit overwhelmed by the fact that I've seen all of this music and dancing and lights and everything all in one place. I know that some people went to go see Les Mis, and again, they just said right from the beginning they were just crying the whole time. And we've also been to see Cruise, which we spoke to Jack Holden on here a little while ago. So they are now open as well. And last night, our team went to Monday Night at the Apollo. So yeah, it's been a really awesome week. What have you guys been to see? Is there anything that you guys have been to see, or have you got any tickets booked in just yet? Let me know. And if you would like to ask any questions, I am here to answer. We've got, Dan has asked, top 3 musical theatre songs. Such a tricky question, because to me, it changes all the time. At the moment, what do I put on? I listen to a lot of kind of like female musical theatre songs. So we've got Dead Girl Walking from Heathers. I think that one's quite a nice belter. You can belt that out. Have really been into Mean Girls over the last few months. So listening to I'd Rather Be Me is a good one. Um, and then I guess another one would probably be, I think one from Miss Saigon. I can't tell you which one right now, but I think a song from Miss Saigon. So a mixture of new and classic musicals. Just any show on Miss Saigon is amazing. Amy says, I have Les Mis and Six booked for the beginning of June. Great choices. Do you know what is also really exciting is just walking down Shaftesbury Avenue and seeing all of the kind of glittering lights of the theatres. I know they've been there for a while, but when you actually see the lights up and people going into the theatre, it's really exciting. So obviously when you go and see Six, you'll see Les Mis, and then when you go see Les Mis, you'll see Six. So it's really nice to be in that atmosphere. Astrid said, went to Magic Mike on opening night, Six and Dear Evan Hansen are on my list. So lovely to have theatre back. That's awesome that you went to go see Magic Mike on opening night. How did you find it? Was it emotional? Because, you know, it's such a feel-good, fun show. Did you still kind of get that, oh my gosh, this is it, I'm finally back in live theatre? How did you find it? Dear Evan Hansen, again, is Olivier Award-winning Best New Musical. So I'm pretty sure you're going to absolutely love that. Hannah says, I'm going to see Six in mid-June and watching Hairspray in August. Nice. Yes, Hairspray is really exciting. Again, it's, you know, it's got a new kind of cast. Obviously, it's got Michael Ball in it, but it's got Marisha Wallace. Just an amazing cast, and I think that one's going to be really fun. We've got Living in Revolting Times. I wonder what show you're thinking about. Have you seen Matilda? It's so good. Yes, I have seen Matilda. I think I've seen Matilda twice, actually. Yeah, love it. The music. I love that bit when they're kind of dancing on the wall with all the letters. That bit just kind of blows my mind. That is mental. Nikki says, what's on at the moment? Nikki, there is a whole host of shows on at the moment. So all the kind of ones that I've mentioned, you've got Les Mis, you've got Six, you've got Everybody's Talking About Jamie is back. You've got Walden, which is, I think it's at the Harold Pinter Theatre, and that's a play with Gemma Arterton in it. What else is back? You've got Amelie. There's lots and lots of stuff coming back, you know, even this week. I'm going to go see Here Come the Boys tomorrow with Eva, which features some, you know, the dancers from Strictly. So yeah, a huge variety of stuff is back. Obviously, I'm just talking about shows in the West End. You've also got theatres opening all around the UK. So don't forget to kind of check out your local theatre, see what they're doing, because, you know, they need your support as well. And they're, you know, it's going to be just outside your front door, so why not go? Astrid says, it was very emotional. I'm a very big fan. I've been before and worried about masks and social distancing taking the atmosphere away, but they said such a good job. Shout out to all the theatre/bar staff as well. They tried so hard to make it welcoming and not weird at all. Exactly. One of the things that I noticed as well from the last week is it's actually quite a nice time to go to the theatre, because you've got a lot of, you know, you've got a lot of space around you. So you're wearing your mask. One thing that I would recommend is wearing a mask that is quite light. Obviously, it needs to be, you know, past the guidance of the mask. But I've got some like material masks that I've made myself, and they're quite thick. And when you're sitting there for, you know, two and a bit hours, you can sometimes, you know, feel a little bit claggy in there. But actually I've got some like lighter weight masks, or even just like the normal medical masks. I find they're really good to have in the theatre, because after a while it's theatre and you just escape into it and forget that you're even wearing one in the first place. It's also really cool how you can be sitting in your seat, and some places allow you to order your drink on your phone, so you don't need to get up and move around. You can literally just be sitting in your seat and they'll come over and deliver you your drink, which is again, really nice. It's good for a person who's a little bit lazy like me. You also have different arrival times, so there's a lot less queuing. You do your bag check, you get your temperature check. Incredible, of course. It was really nice actually, because that same night I was at Amelie, and then after the show we kind of got together and like regrouped, and we both kind of talked about how each show was. And yeah, they said Les Mis was amazing. If you want to know what they thought, actually, I believe that Ruth did a vlog which is now live on our YouTube channel, so you can find out their thoughts and the whole process of, even just traveling into London, because I know Ruth came from outside of London to go in. So you'll find out a little bit about that experience as well. So have a look at that. Roisin says 6 can't come quick enough. Thank you for advice. Thanks, guys. But yeah, we're always here on social media. So if you do have any kind of questions about going back to the theatre and your first visit back, then please don't hesitate to ask. We have a page on our website about See It Safely. So when you're back at the theatre, you'll probably see the See It Safely mark. That was all our SALT, Society of London Theatre team, kind of brought that together. And that is kind of a mark to say that this theatre is following, the right COVID guidelines, and you can kind of feel sure that you're going to be feeling safe on your trip. And of course, take a look at our Back on Stage hashtag, because we are going to be putting loads of content in there. Opening night curtain calls is one of the biggest things that we're doing at the moment. So we've been getting some permission from shows to record that curtain call and, allow you guys to feel like you were in that space with us and not feeling like you're missing out on anything. And we also have a competition to win £200 in theatre tokens. So that is basically 2 tickets to a theatre show, and then some, and a stay at the Radisson Blu London Hotel, including English breakfast. So to enter that competition, all you need to do is upload a video or a picture of your experience of being back on stage. And that can either be, you in your hometown, like buying your tickets, or it can be at your theatre, your local theatre, or a London theatre. We just kind of want to see you guys out there and enjoying being back in those theatres and being back on stage. So you need to upload that, and then also you need to tag us London Theatre so we can see it, and use the hashtag Back on Stage. I feel like I kind of mumbled a bit there, but there's a post on our feed that tells you more about the competition, and you can have a look there, and then look on the website for T's and C's. Ingrid, hello from Glasgow. Can't wait to come down to London to see a show. All of London, I think probably every theatre everywhere, is so excited for people to be able to feel like they can travel back down again. I've had some messages from people on social saying, I usually book my yearly trip to London from lots of different countries. And at the moment, they're having to wait a little bit longer, obviously, until we feel like it's fully safe. But we are going to be there, and we will be open for you. So we cannot wait to kind of bring in all of the tourists and all of the people who just, come from far and wide to visit the theatre. You're not going to miss it, You're not going to miss it. You're not going to regret it, because London is back. It's good. I've been on the tubes, which has been great. Again, it's not as busy as maybe you normally think it would be. So I've managed to kind of have, a seat on the tube with some space next to me. I've been out for dinner, which was lovely. Something that I really missed and forgot how nice it is when someone cooks for you, but then also you don't have to do the washing up afterwards. That is ideal for me. So thank you everybody for tuning in and watching today's Theatre Chat Live. I feel like it was a bit rambly from me at the end there, but if you do have any questions about being back and reopening, and even what could happen from the 21st of June, feel free to ask, and we'll be able to get back to you and give you all the information that you would love to know. If you'd like to buy any tickets, because shows are now open, you can do. All you need to do is just click the link in our bio, and I will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining.